it's Shawnee. Welcome back. Oh, let me do a little shimmy for Nikki. Okay, so I have a couple of things. I've been resting most of the day. That has been super helpful. Thank you for all of you who are encouraging and reminding me to take care of myself. But I'm feeling pretty good right now. You got a tongue pop and everything. So I have a few new things. They're all spread out here. A couple of things. These two things I did not purchase. These are CoverFX that my friend D1 from Dion Loves Makeup got me. Actually, I think she got them for herself, but she can't make CoverFX work for her, so she sent them my way. This one is named Tribe. And then this one is named Real Love. Real love. I'm searching for a real love. Go Mary, go Mary. Don't tell me you don't know Mary J. Blige and her two-step that she be doing. So I got those. And then because these Danessa Myricks flushed blurring balm thingies are like Pokemon, you know, gotta catch them all, I got another shade, and this is the shade Jubilee. I like this. I like the potential it has to just be like a really natural flush, so I'm excited to use that. And I mean, besides knowing that I'm gonna get them all anyway, another reason was that you could get from Sephora like a little free gift with purchase, and it is the mini size of the blurring balm powder in Universal. And I have been wanting a mini of this for so long. I have the larger one. Here that is. I have this, but look at the difference in the size. Like, hold on. Okay, there we go. That's better. Look at the difference in the size. So I'm excited to put this in my work bag that I take with me to work to do my makeup. So that fits right in there. I'm excited to use that when I go to work. What else is there? Oh, and I got a mini of the Nars Creamy, what is this called? Radiant Creamy? Creamy. I don't know. But it's their concealer. I've used it before. It was okay, so I didn't want to, or at least in my opinion, I didn't want to get the large one just yet. I wanted to get a smaller one to kind of figure out if I still like it, and this is in the shade Amande. And then the main thing that I was getting is the HD Skin Matte Velvet Powder Foundation from Makeup Forever. So I'm going to give this a try. I have not touched it at all. No, that's a lie. I'm sorry. I just blatantly lied to your face. I have swatched it just on the back of my hand. Oh, that's how you open it. I've swatched it just on the back of my hand, but I haven't even taken the little plastic off of the sponge or anything like that. So I figured I would do a look with some of these things. I think I will start with one of the CoverFX. Which one do I want to use? Ooh. I'm gonna do both. So let's start with Real Love. I'm just going to put a little bit on this palette I have next to me. Squeeze a bit of this out. I know some people struggle with the CoverFX. I don't know why it has worked for me, but as I was thinking back on it, when I first started using the CoverFX, I know that I struggled. But I'm just going to take a little bit on this brush from Sydney Grace. This is from their initial like brush release. I know now the brushes have like a different tip, and they now have like the name or the number of the brush on there. So if you buy them now, that's something you can look forward to. So unfortunately I can't name the brush or the number or whatever because it is not on there. So, ooh, hey girl. So I just squeezed out one little squeeze of this, and I'm pretty sure that's all I'm going to need. Now the CoverFX do dry pretty quickly in my experience. I'm just taking a clean towel and wiping a bit of that off. And that was like a paddle type of brush that I used, if you can see that. Now I'm going to take a fluffier brush so that I can use it to blend the edges out. And this is a BK Beauty brush number 212. So I'm just going in, I want to diffuse that color a little bit. And I'm just going in circular motions and sort of like windshield wiper motions. I'm doing that on both eyes. So oftentimes I will use my finger to apply CoverFX, but I decided that we're gonna go with the long nails this week, and I am not trying to poke my eye out, kid. Yo, I am coming at you with the references today. So we used Real Love. I'm going to go in with Tribe, which is like this deeper purple. I'm going to put it on this little palette I have here. It's just like this palette I got from Amazon. The other side is pretty dirty with like little areas of like foundation and stuff that I've put down. I'm taking the same fluffy brush and I put some on the end, and I'm going to put it towards the outer corner to provide some depth there. This is a dark look, but it will all come together. I like to put deeper colors in like the outer corner area of my eye, just because I feel like it gives sort of this like sultry look that I always like. And basically once you put CoverFX on, it's not going anywhere. I'm going to spray this brush with some quick brush cleaner just so I can get that color off of there. So I do that in between like deep cleaning or washing of my brushes, just to help with the longevity of the bristles and everything, and not have color getting stuck on there and then mixing in and changing other looks that I might do. Okay, so let me do my brows really quickly. I have not cleaned this vanity up. Like, everything is everywhere. Where's the brow pencil? Okay, who? Oh, here it is. About to start yelling. This is bright. Oh, that's what I was thinking. It'll look dark. Oh, wait. I didn't mean to play that. Hold on. Stop. Stop. How you do it? Hey, Google. Stop video. Okay. All right. Let's zip through this. So yesterday was Friday, and it was like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm not ashamed to say I was in my bed in my nightshirt with my bonnet on, okay? And of course, because trauma and mental health issues, they don't sleep. I got a call from my associate who had gotten a call from a patient who was in crisis, which is fine. Like, that's what they should do. I'm like, ooh, it's 9 o'clock on a Friday. But everything seems fine and seems like we were able to support the client and resolve everything. And here we are. Okay, so what I learned when I was younger in terms of working with powder foundation, because I actually started out using powder foundation before using liquid. I was like nervous about using liquid foundation for some reason, and now that's primarily all that I have. Makeup Forever is actually one of the powder foundations I used. This brand has a special place in my heart because they have for a long time had shades that match my deeper skin tone. But what I learned is to do liquids before powder. So let me know if you learned that too. So typically when I do my foundation, I'll put on my liquid foundation and then I'll put on my concealer. But with powder, I've been told that you don't want to layer a liquid on top of a powder. Yeah, you want to put your liquids down first and use the powder to layer on top. So what I'm going to do, I think I'll just use a bit of this Airbrush Flawless spray from Charlotte. I'm going to use that like just as a little bit of primer. And then I'm going to go ahead and try out this concealer from Nars. This is just a mini. I think it's definitely a shade that's gonna brighten my under eyes up a little bit. I also wanted to try this one because I feel like with it, well, who knows what the weather is doing. Like the other day it was 81 and today it's snowing. Like if that's not climate change, I don't know what is. But my Fenty concealer felt very drying when I looked at myself at work. I was like, oh girl. I mean, I think it's also a combination of me being exhausted, but I was looking at my under eyes like, honey, who are you? Where did you come from? This is blending out super easily. It's also helping me to clean up right there with the CoverFX. See, I was able to kind of use the concealer as a way to blend and clean things up a little bit. Ma'am. Okay, I'm gonna have to get the full size. Like, thank you. Yes. I look awake. Okay. So, here is the powder. It comes in this like plasticky kind of compact. Definitely like a larger compact than your standard like, I feel like most powder foundations come in something like this. This is the Fashion Fair Creme to Powder. So just a little bit of a different packaging, but that is fine. And it comes with this little like button that you can push, which is helpful if you have long nails. You just push that in and pop this up, and you do get a mirror, which is nice. And it comes with one side is the foundation and the other is a sponge that is nicely wrapped in this little plastic. I'm gonna take that out. Don't fight it. And the sponge says Makeup Forever right here, if you can see it. All right, and the sponge is definitely going to be good for on the go. The other thing I want to remind you with sponges, make sure that you take these out and you wash them occasionally, because you don't want to just keep putting the product on there, putting it on your face, and then throwing it back in here and letting it get all gunky and gross. The shade that I got is 4N68. I have no idea if that is the correct shade, but we are going to try it and hope that it works. Let me quickly pull up the Makeup Forever website and read to you what they say about this powder foundation. So, it is called the HD Skin Matte Velvet, and they said they created it to deliver natural looking matte coverage that doesn't cake or crease. They claim that it is a one swipe foundation. It corrects, blurs, and mattifies the skin for up to 24 hours. But then they have two little asterisks, so what does that mean? Based on the Makeup Forever formulation guidelines available at makeupforever.com, instrumental test on 30 subjects. So they tested it on 30 people, and 30 people must have said that it mattified their skin for up to 24 hours. So that could be, girl, that could be an hour, that could be 24 hours, we don't know. There is a combination of 3 different powders. In just one swipe, it covers imperfections, reduces redness, refines pores, and smooths textures. It's said to achieve medium to full coverage with a buildable formula, and it's available in a variety of shades within 4 shade families: light, medium, tan, and deep, and 3 undertones: red, neutral, and yellow. So if you have an undertone outside of that, girl, you're not gonna find your shade. It says to be a clean, another asterisk, and improved formula without any animal-derived ingredients, and it's suitable for normal, combination, or oily skin types. They claim that it is water-resistant, sweat-proof, and smudge-proof. I never believe any of those things, but oftentimes when they do say that, that for me means that it's gonna like hold up a little bit longer than some other comparable items. So let's go ahead and try it. I think what I will do for sheer coverage, they say to apply using a brush. They recommend one of their brushes, starting from the center of the face, using the press and roll motion and sweeping outwards. If you want medium coverage, they suggest using the plain side of the included sponge, starting from the center of the face and moving outwards. And then for full coverage, they suggest using the logo side of the included sponge and starting from the center of the face, moving outwards. That sounds like a lot of blah, 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 blah. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the sponge on one side and then see how that goes, and then possibly use a brush. I don't know. What is that? Get off of me. Stop. What is that? Okay. So I'm going to go in with the side that doesn't have the logo. And I see people like swiping and then just like swiping and being dramatic with it. So I'm going to do that because I love drama. That looks gray. Does it look gray? Like here it looks good, but I feel like, what's with the gray? Is it like, let's get a brush. Okay, let's use this Anissa Beauty Pinnacle Foundation brush. Okay, the brush is definitely giving more of a like they were saying, sheer coverage. So let's try the logo side of the sponge. See, already I don't like how I gotta do all the hoops from the way that they're saying to apply it. Like typically I would just apply it if I'm out and on the go. I would apply it with a sponge like this and just kind of pat it in. That's how I tend to apply my foundation, powder foundation. I wouldn't necessarily swipe like we see all the Instagrammers and TikTokers doing. I like to just pat it in. And then if I want fuller coverage, I would probably use a brush like this that's densely packed and press it into my skin. And if I wanted lighter coverage, then I would use a fluffy brush, something like this BK 102. Tap into it and just buff the powder onto my skin. So that's about the coverage I think we're going to get with that. And let's try the Jubilee Balm blush on top. And where is the brush that I tend to use for this? Another Anissa Beauty brush. I don't hear too many people talk about these brushes, but I really do like them. This is the Buffing Bronzer brush. I know Tina from the Fancy Face talks about it. Also Rose and Ben. I know my friend Jessa likes them a lot, and I do too. So I didn't add any product. I am just using that fluffy brush to blend things out a bit more. And let's use a little bit of powder contour. So sticking with powders. And I will use one from Colored Rain. I've got two shades. I'll use the deeper one. This is Mocha Queen. Show that to you. It's pretty deep. Get a brush. This is the Sonia G Energy Pro. Just tapping into that. And I'm putting this bronzer right where it's kind of meeting the blush. I was about to say something, but I'm not going to. I don't have no bottoms on either because I was about to pop up and yell something out the window, but I'm not trying to show y'all all my goodies. I'm also going to tap back into the foundation and I'm going to use it to blend out some of my eyeshadow. So I'm just tapping into the powder and taking this. This is a Wayne Goss number 16 brush. And I just want to blend So that just kind of diffuses it a little bit. And then, I know, I feel like I'm just doing so much. I'm going to take this black Marc Jacobs liner. I hate you. I hope they heard me. This is the Monsieur Big mascara from Lancome. Has everyone tried is it L'Oreal mascara that's been all the drama as of late? I know my friend Tracy tried it. She hasn't given me her full update yet. So this morning I got up, I fed Miss Ma'am, I like redid my hair, not all of it, just like the front, like cleaning it up a little bit, and then I worked out. What else did I do? We used the balance or the exercise ball today, and girl, when I tell you, my thighs were like, what are we doing? Okay, so I'm gonna wipe this lip chap off and going to go in with the deepest shade of the CoverFX that I use. This is the one named Tribe. I'm gonna take a bit of that on my finger. I honestly just took a tiny bit. I can definitely say I don't need any more purple toned CoverFX. I think I have like all of them now. I'm gonna also take a little bit of Jubilee. Wipe some of that off on a towel. Don't want to mix. Get some of that. Hair's all fresh. Nails are fresh. Okay, let me take a picture. I'm just kidding. Okay, so, all right, here is the finished look. Are we finished with the look? Are we finished with the look? Let's smudge that out a little bit. Why don't we? Okay, so here is the finished look. We used some new CoverFX that were gifted to me, some friend mail from Dion Loves Makeup. I love CoverFX, especially CoverFX Matte, and I like this sort of vibrant but like dark thing that I've got going on here with these. So really cool. These will just be added right to my collection of CoverFX that I have over there. That's why I'm staring over there. We use them on the eyes and then also on the lips. Also went in with the Nars Radiant Creamy Radiant Concealer. Why am I blanking on the name of it? I'm so sorry. Do I have the box here? Yes. This is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Amande, and I like it. I like the way it brightened up my under eyes. I think I will go ahead and purchase the large one, and then I'll put this little mini in my bag to use at work. Just because, like I said, I feel like the Fenty one has been drying lately. Most likely because of the weather and everything. And we used the Blurring Flushed in Jubilee. I like it. I think it gives a natural kind of flush. So I think Jubilee and, is it this one? Rosé and Brunch on me, on my deeper skin tone, are ones that allow for kind of like a natural sort of flush happening, but they are still very pigmented. And then, of course, we use the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Powder Foundation. I think this is definitely going to be good for on the go. The one thing I really used to love about powder foundation is just being able to throw it in my bag and go. So I think people like my second sister would love this because she could throw it in her bag and do her makeup on the go. You've got the sponge in there. Just like I said, remember to wash your sponges, wash your brushes so they're not icky and gross. But initially I thought it looked kind of gray, but that just could be my own like hyperpigmentation. I think it looks fine. I mean, it's not blowing me away, but I have used powder foundation in the past, and I've used powder foundation from Makeup Forever in the past. So like, it's a good one. But I've also heard really good things about the Maybelline one or the L'Oreal. I don't know, one of them. But this is a good choice, I think, if you are interested and if you do like Makeup Forever products. I feel like this is going to hold up fine. I'll make sure to do a wear test like later in the week when I go out to work. I'll probably just do that with this week. Yeah, I could see myself just tossing this in a bag rather than taking my whole arsenal of like liquid foundation. So yeah, I think this is fine. Like I said, I'm not blown out of the water, but I think I will continue to enjoy it. It went on easily. It's very smooth. I don't smell any sort of fragrance. I don't smell anything at all. So for those of you who are sensitive to that, that's something to note. What else? I think that's it. Oh, I didn't even put the sponge back in there. It's kind of icky already. I'm probably like, I'm gonna wash it. That's the only thing. That's the only thing about powder foundations. But if you have like travel size brushes and stuff, you can always throw those in a bag, but you gotta wash those too. Anyway, I don't think I'm gonna edit any of this. I think I'm just gonna like put the intro and the outro and just give it to you, you know? So hopefully I didn't do anything crazy or too crazy. Yeah, that is it, y'all. I hope that some of this was helpful. I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. Me and my thighs from that jazzercise class with the exercise ball. We need to go on and schedule a massage because, girl, child. Don't forget to like the video. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.